Bud Dinges.
Good to see you. Adam, I'm just the Ag Commission. Well, I think I'm on track THC's talking. All right, Texas Animal Health Commission, you guys crank it up. State your name, who you with?
Good afternoon, Chairman, Senators. I'm Bud Dinges with the Texas Animal Health Commission. I'm the State Veterinarian and Executive Director of the agency. I've got with me today Dr. T.R. Lanchard. He is the Assistant State Veterinarian and the Deputy Executive Director of the agency. Texas Animal Health Commission was established in 1893 as a livestock sanitary commission in charge with protecting the state's domestic animals from all contagious and infectious diseases of malignant character. Today, the Texas Animal Health Commission remains true to this charge while evolving with the times to protect the health and marketability of all Texas livestock and poultry. We work to assure livestock and poultry health. We control and eradicate disease, prevent production losses, maintain trade avenues, and prepare for and respond to emergency situations. Texas Animal Health Commission has the legislative authority to regulate the prevention, control, and/or eradication of specific contagious or infectious diseases in livestock and poultry. The Texas Animal Health Commission regulations are made and adopted by 13 governor-appointed commissioners who represent all sectors of the livestock and poultry industries, the general public, and the veterinary medical profession. The Texas Animal Health Commission has 6 region offices strategically located across the state. Texas Animal Health Commission staff works closely with veterinarians, ranchers, livestock markets, livestock and poultry producers, both colleges of veterinary medicine, federal and state agencies, and local jurisdictions. The Texas Animal Health Commission team includes veterinarians, epidemiologists, livestock inspectors. We have legal and compliance personnel, emergency management staff, and administrative operations. We are an agency led by veterinarians. Myself, Dr. Lanchard, our state epidemiologist is a veterinarian, as well as our director of field operations, Dr. Brian Bowl. Texas Animal Health Commission regions are run by veterinarians serving as region directors. We have additional veterinarians that assist with regional veterinary services and epidemiologic needs. Our livestock inspectors are the boots on the ground team members. With some of their duties include monitoring and inspecting livestock markets, feedlots, slaughter plants, and other regulated facilities. They also enforce movement restrictions and other agency regulations. They play a critical role in responding to disaster incidents affecting livestock and poultry. Some of the legal and compliance departments and duties include enforcing agency regulations, writing and serving demand and warning letters to violators, performing roadside stops and inspections, and they also assist in emergency management operations. The authorized personnel staff manages the Texas Authorized Personnel Program to help develop and enhance veterinarians in their field. The Texas Animal Health Commission is a lead agency for all animal issues involving foreign and emerging diseases. Our emergency management staff plans for and trains for disease response and also assists producers with biosecurity and secure food supply plans. Our administrative and support staff includes animal disease traceability, communications, financial services and purchasing, human resources, information technology, program records and permits, and staff services. In 2024, Texas animal agriculture is estimated to be a $22 billion industry. Animal agriculture accounts for 56% of the total agriculture industry in Texas. Today, more Texans are becoming first-time farmers and ranchers, learning to raise livestock and poultry to support their families. We've been dealing with a highly pathogenic avian influenza outbreak since February of 2022 on a national level. The outbreak, the virus spreads rapidly and causes high death loss in peri-domestic birds and poultry. The mitigation of this disease requires ongoing disease surveillance, outreach, and preparedness activities. In March of 2024, HPAI developed as an emerging disease in lactating dairy cattle in the Texas Panhandle. It's thought to be a spillover event from migratory waterfowl that began in the fall of 2023 or early 2024. It was first described as a milk drop syndrome, and epidemiologic work is ongoing to further clarify possible transmission methods. The Texas-Mexico border is always of concern. There's a significant volume of animals and products entering Texas through 6 Texas land ports along the contiguous 1,248-mile border with Mexico. This creates numerous vulnerabilities, potentially allowing entry of foreign animal diseases, and unauthorized movements of livestock into Texas threatens the health of animals in the state. Texas Animal Health Commission has been involved in cattle fever tick control and eradication since 1893. Cattle fever ticks are capable of carrying parasites that cause cattle fever and can lead to a 90% mortality rate in naive cattle. The Texas Animal Health Commission eradication efforts include premises quarantines, livestock movement restrictions, inspections, and treatment. We're also experiencing the threat of a New World screwworm infestation to the south. The New World screwworms are larvae or maggots of the New World screwworm fly. They cause a painful condition called myiasis, and often cause serious or deadly damage. New World screwworms primarily infest livestock and can affect birds, any mammals, including humans. They were last eradicated from the United States in 1966 and were discovered in southern states in Mexico in November of 2024. We're also dealing with the Asian longhorn tick, which was discovered on the east coast of the United States and has moved to the west since discovered at that time. It is an invasive pest posing a serious threat to livestock due to the disease it carries, and it is very difficult to eradicate. It has not reached Texas, but it has made it to northeast Oklahoma and northeast Arkansas. Surveillance is needed and required to protect the Texas livestock. That concludes my testimony.
Members, any questions? You guys sit tight. Water Parks will be up here in a minute, but I appreciate what you do. I think summing this agency up, members, is they take care of our food supply. And it's things that we sometimes think are gone and they come back, and different reasons for that. But that is their mission and that is their focus. They seem to be drawn into other missions and other focuses that I'm fundamentally against. Specifically, there is currently a rider request for a spade and neuter. We're going to move that to the veterinarian conversation. They already have programs to do that. That's not an animal health initiative, so we're working through some of that, but they do a lot with a few people. I'd say they really do a lot with a few people, protecting the largest cattle herd in states, I believe. Is that a fair statement? All right. Thank you for what you do. Sit there tight. Commissioner Miller.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Good to be with y'all, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for this opportunity to come before the committee and the senators. Good evening to y'all. Texas Department of Agriculture is always been the glue that's held our state together. If you can go back as early as the earliest longhorn cattle drives, it's been that important to Texas. We create 2.2 million jobs directly in the state, which adds up to about $300 billion of economic opportunity in the state. And we have about $14 billion worth of agriculture exports coming out of our state. We lead the nation in agriculture exports: cattle, cotton, wool, mohair, horses, sheep, goats, hay, and the list goes on and on. So you can see it's pretty powerful. The largest port now in the United States is Laredo, Texas. In one day's time, we have 25,000 trailer trucks coming back and forth through Tamaulipas and the state of Texas. That's about $1 billion trade. So we are an economic powerhouse. Sunset Bill, Senate Bill 703 of the 87th legislative session reflected the Sunset staff reflected that after hundreds of hours of evaluation that TDA is a highly efficient, physically responsible, consumer-focused department and one of the best-run agencies in the state of Texas. Senate bill passed the Senate unanimously and 144 to 1 in the House. This agency has led the way. We were the first agency to declare that we will not be contracting with anyone that has DEI policies. So we have ended that. Since then, the governor and the president has also issued that statement. We're divided into three major categories. Trade and economic development is one. Consumer protection is the other, and food and nutrition would be the fourth one. Trade and economic development. In that, we have several divisions. One is the State Office of Rural Health Care. We're responsible in making sure that we have adequate health care in 191 counties across rural Texas. We struggle to keep doctors and nurses and pharmacists. It's a constant challenge. We draw down grant money and get out to those communities to try to keep the hospitals open and health care provided. We do community development in the form of block grants. Rural communities, we provide grants for job creation, infrastructure grants, fire trucks, ambulances, you name it, a whole list of them. It's quite a long list. We run the Office of Produce Safety, and that's basically at the behest of the federal government. We try to keep your spinach and other vegetables from having E. coli and salmonella and killing you. So we make sure that your food is safe. We have a very intensive international marketing program. We interacted with 34 different countries this last year, opening markets for Texas products, something we're very, very proud of. And we operate 5 livestock export facilities, one in El Paso, Laredo, Del Rio, Brownsville, and we built a new facility at the airport in Houston. This last year, we exported 288,000 head of livestock through those facilities. The CDBG program, mainly program, is to expand economic opportunity in rural Texas. Most of those grants go to areas that are kind of economically underserved. I know, Mr. Chairman, we put out several water grants, $500,000 water grants, about 100 of those this last year. With rural Texas infrastructure's not up to where it needs to be. We look forward to working with you on your water issue because it's a big issue for rural Texas and for farmers. We have programs to assist young farmers to get a start. We support area food banks. Thank you y'all that provide us grant money that help us fund those area food banks. We fund plant and disease research, and of course we expand markets. We do that through our Go Texan program, which is our marketing program. We've expanded that to a global outreach. Like I said, we've been on every continent on the globe marketing Texas products. Food and nutrition. This is where we actually help the area food banks. Our biggest job is we're responsible for overseeing 5 million school meals each day. So we run the school lunch program, school breakfast program, but in addition to that, we have summer feeding programs, adult feeding programs. In times of emergency, we feed the people in the shelters, make sure that they're taken care of. So it's a pretty big program in itself. It's about a $6 billion program we oversee there. Texas is leading the way. We're the kind of example for the rest of the United States. We instituted a Farm Fresh program. When I started, our schools were feeding 0 local products. Last year, they bought and served $300 million of locally grown products, cooked fresh from scratch, and the kids ate it. We've been contacted by the USDA this last week. They want to mirror what we're doing in Texas and move. There's only 4 ag departments that actually run the nutrition programs in other states. And they want to take our model, and we're working with them. They want the rest of the ag departments to take over the food and nutrition. They like what we're doing here, and they want to try to replicate that. Agriculture, Consumer, and Protection Division, we oversee, things like inspecting scales, barcode scanners, eggs, produce, nursery floral products, things like that. In that is housed our pest control. We do ag pesticides, but we also do structural pesticides. People that come in your businesses and homes, we want to make sure that your pets or children aren't poisoned. And so far, none of that's happened on my watch. We do a big operation when it comes to registering pesticides. And all these programs that I'm talking about, they're run on cost recovery. We don't ask for general appropriations. We pretty much pay our own way. So we're really not a burden to the taxpayer. What the services we provide, we charge for. So we collect the money that where we run the program. couple of more programs in consumer protection is the hemp program. We look forward to working with you on the THC. Whatever we can do, you have our full resources available for that project. And we also run the organic program. We're the ones who certify the organics. And we have a grain warehouse program. That may be a little strange to me, but we're kind of like bank auditors. We go out and inspect the granaries. Our people actually measure the grain in them. They go in and go through the books, audit them, and make sure the books match the deposit, much like a bank would do. In addition to that, we have other divisions. We have a legal division. We have a financial division. We have communications. We have, of course, an admin division and governmental relations. So that's, pretty much where we are. This last session, y'all helped us expand our biosecurity program. That's where we pull over trailer trucks and inspect them for phytosanitary issues, make sure they're not bringing in disease or pest or invasive species, things like that. That's the department where we're monitoring the, if you haven't heard, we're having a rash of mystery seeds come in from China, some of them with liquids in those. So we're working with APHIS, Animal Plant Health Inspection Service, to get that under control. We've been to vastly expand our biosecurity program, and our inspections are way up. Through the help of the legislature, I'd requested a suicide hotline for agriculture. We call it the Agri-Stress Network. We're in our third year now. It's up and running. We've been able to expand that to 10 more states, so there are now 10 of us operating that and sharing the cost of that operation. We've been able to probably save the lives, we think, it's a little hard to document, about 300 farmers since we've got that up and running. It's been a very highly successful program. International trade, we excel at that. When the tariff wars hit with China, 49 states lost agriculture exports. There was one state that agriculture exports actually increased, and that was Texas, and it was because we weren't solely relying on China to buy 60% of our product. We had scattered our risk out over many countries, and we still continue to do that. Mr. Chairman, that's most of what I've, a couple other items I want to hit on while I've got a little time left. We've been able to work with a lot of y'all directly. Senator Cole, of course, we had my full department's at your disposal on helping curb our enemies from buying any more of our farmland. Senator Perry, Senator Blanco, we are still fighting the red flower beetle. We got it eradicated from level land. We've all but eradicated in Socorro, Fabians, and Tornillo. So we appreciate you working with us on that. We worked through the General Land Office. We're now taking those pecan shells out in the desert and scattering them out there where they don't bother anybody. So I think by springtime we'll have a full eradication there, and we've got a full eradication in level land. But anyway, that's pretty much what I've got, and be glad to answer any questions.
Chairman Birdwell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner, how's avian flu affecting our egg hen laying population for our poultry industry in Texas? Every time I buy, a 6-pack of eggs now instead of 12, I think about it.
You guys want that?
So
I can take it from my end. These guys probably know more about it than I do, but we've been pretty fortunate. We haven't had any avian influenza in our dairy herds this year. It actually started in Texas last February, as you just heard. Our dairymen have taken a lot of precautions, a lot of PPE equipment and sanitizing the milkers when they go from cow to cow. We've dodged the bullet on commercial flocks of poultry getting influenza. Yeah. But it could happen any day. But I think we're going to be out of the woods pretty quick. That's mainly spread by migratory waterfowl, and they're on their way back, or we'll be out of here in probably 45 to 60 days.
Because I know the federal authorities went in and they've decimated some poultry herds and other stuff, and I just
we had one last year. There's 1,500,000 birds, biggest one we've ever had in Texas. But we missed it completely, as far as I know, this go around.
Yes, sir. We've been fortunate. We did have the one commercial poultry flock up in Palmer County last April become effective as a $1.9 million layers, knock on wood, we have been really fortunate. We hadn't had another commercial grower affected with it. We've had several backyard flocks, but other than that, we've been really fortunate. We haven't had much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Anybody? Senator Blanco.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Miller, first of all, thank you so much for your leadership in addressing the red flower beetle in El Paso County that affected our growers and our food products. Y'all acted quickly. I was very impressed with how you guys handled your outreach to locals, so appreciate your aggressive activity on that. Looking back, regarding this infestation, what are the lessons that you learned through TDA, and is there anything that we in the legislature can help you for future infestations?
We'd never had this problem before. It first occurred in level land. It usually happens, these beetles like to overwinter and house in discarded nut shells. This happened to be almond shells and peanut hulls and different things. They were shipping almond hulls in from California and making feedstock out of them, but they had piled them up on the ground. In your case, it was pecan shells, and they were using them for dust control, putting them in the city. And of course, it just made the ideal breeding habit for these beetles. And when I say you were infested, it was like Alfred Hitchcock level infestation.
It was.
It was like a horror movie. I mean, you know, restaurants with beetles crawling over the tables, and I mean, you couldn't everywhere. They were everywhere, and you know, children's beds at night. It was awful. But we've got a handle on it now. We were able to get some funding. You know, I don't have emergency funding available, but we were able to get some money through the City of El Paso to Socorro. I don't think Fabian's or Tornillo applied for any of it, but we were able to gather up those hulls that were in town and haul them to the landfill. And now the rest of them are going out in the desert, and I think that'll get us where we need to be.
Great. Well, really appreciate your leadership, and hopefully, I know the cold is what really zaps them.
It helps,
speak,
yes,
but,
sir.
But appreciate your leadership. Thank you.
Sure.
Any others? All right. Well, Commissioner Miller, thanks for doing, and you did a good job in level land. That reached a community crisis. They were pretty upset about it. So, got a hold of the beetles, ma'am. Not the kind that sing. All right.
Mystery seeds and red flower beetles.
Yeah.
We're after them.
It's just amazing to me how something that small can get out of hand that can ruin our food supply. You know, just one screw room, got maggots, and they head off and get on top of a cow, and all of a sudden it is how fragile our food supply really is. It's kind of scary. Thank you for being here.
Sure.
David, come on up, Texas Park and Wildlife.